Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. They clean up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? How are you?
I'm doing great today.
That's good.
Monday morning, we're recording this. We got up early for my man. Well, at least early for me on the West Coast. Yeah, this is going to be a big one today.
So we just want to once again thank everybody who's been listening and ask if you are listening on iTunes or Apple Podcasts that you rate and review the podcast. And if you are listening on YouTube, to make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment, all that. Everything helps us greatly, so we appreciate that if you already have been doing it. And also anybody who's been reaching out to us, we appreciate, all the kind words and feedback of what you like and don't like. And today we're just going to get right into it. We have a very special guest. We have someone that's been very influential in the DJ game. He started his career at the age of 14 in a small town in North Carolina. You have definitely seen an email from this man in your inbox. He's one of the best at marketing in the game. He has company offices in Charlotte, Charleston, Richmond, Raleigh, San Diego. He is now TikTok famous. He has his own custom DJ booth that you can buy. He also has his own podcast, the PhD Podcast with Mike Walter. You might know him from the hashtag No Serato Face DJ ads. Today is an entrepreneur and educator for mobile DJs worldwide. He's a co-founder of the DJ Collective. He's an innovator. He's fashionable. He's handsome. Please help us welcome Joe Bunn.
Yo. Man, that was quite the intro. I was exhausted just listening to all the stuff I do.
You're an accomplished man. I mean, we got lots to talk about here.
Dude, I'm super stoked to be here. Episode 97. I finally made it on. So thank you guys for having me. I think I'm under 20, right? Wait, what number is this? What number would this come out? I'm sub 20, right? 20. Oh, okay.
No,
okay, good.
Under 20, way under 20.
Okay,
yeah,
fantastic. Okay, well then I feel still like loved and needed.
We were trying to get you before 10 because I know that's your podcast cutoff. But
listen, if I'm not in the first 10 episodes, damn it, I'm not coming on. Oh no, man. There was some scheduling errors. I'm sure of it. I'm positive. But no, thanks for having me. I'm super stoked to chop it up with you two guys. I love and respect y'all both. Play your music, play your edits all the time. Have learned like tremendous amounts of knowledge from both of you. And man, I'm just excited to be here. I'm glad y'all are doing this. It's really cool that y'all are putting this together. Smart.
Thanks, man. I mean, we're also grateful for you always have us on the Vault Twitch channel and rocking out with you guys. You always crush it over there with some big numbers, and we like to get weird and have some fun over there.
That's right. Get weird.
Well, we like to jump off with just some quick rapid fire, just to kind of get your brain going a little bit.
Let's do it.
What time do you wake up in the morning or the afternoon?
I am 7 a.m. 7 a.m.
What is the best non-curse word, one-word insult?
Wow, that's a good one. Fuck face. Oh wait. That's a cuss word. I think douchebag. Is that a cuss word?
Yeah.
I'll take it. No, that's not.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you listened to on Spotify or Apple Music, if that's what you use?
Spotify. The Weeknd's new album.
Nice.
Dawn FM. Love.
No one likes Apple Music. Let's be honest.
Here we go. Him and Apple.
I'm a huge Apple fanboy.
No, he loves the products, but he hates their music platforms. Let's just get that straight.
I don't use it either.
I don't either.
What's your favorite thing to do when not DJing?
Hang out with my kids.
Who is your favorite remixer or producer?
Man, I'm going Scoot. I'm going Scooter on this one.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'll say followed immediately by Drew and Fuse. How about that?
Oh, well, that's fine.
It's-
If you guys don't know Scooter, if you guys are listening, you can find all of his edits on directmusicservice.com.
Yes.
So there you go. What is a popular song that you should be playing but makes you cringe and or you refuse to play?
That's a great one. I would say anything Taylor Swift or Lizzo. Does that have to be a particular song? I know. I just cut right to it there.
Fuse just did this weekend. He did an hour-long all Taylor and Swift at his bar.
I would have killed myself. I can't do it. I don't know why.
So I'll just touch on that real quick. So we were in New York on November, and we walked into this party. They were like, it's $15 to get in, and it's a Tuesday or something like that. And we were like, why is it $15 to get in? They're like, it's an all Taylor Swift night. And I was like, all right, cool. Here's $15. Let's go. Right. Because I had to check out what was going on inside. So me and my buddy Danny and my girlfriend Ashley go in. Sure enough, this dude is all Taylor Swift, and it is full, and everybody's singing along to every song. So we're sitting there, and Danny, who owns the bar and the club I play at, he's like, we should do this at the bar. So we did it at the bar, but we advertised it as the first hour, and I even came in and played an hour early. So instead of starting at 10, I started at 9, and I did an hour of it, and it was filled. People showed up for it. They were there for it. I played the full 10-minute version of All Too Well, which is like the Purple Rain for millennials, I would
really
say.
Is.
So
you went all in, man.
So mine nails on the chalkboard is play that funky music. And I hit up Brian B before this, our mutual friend, and he said, ask Joe why he's still play that funky music.
I'll play it. It would be 1 out of 8 weekends though. It would be 1 out of 8 weekends, and it would be like normally like a second wedding kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like if I knew I needed those. So there were older couple. They were in that demographic when they were, I'm trying to think of whatever age they would have been in 70, whenever that song came out. He's mistaken, dude. And I rarely, I used to play Brick House, play that funky music back to back. That was just the segue. That was the mix. I always did that mix. And he's just way off on he's out of his mind, dude. All those songs that were, these cliche wedding songs, I've tabled so many of them. We Are Family, Celebration. I can't tell you the last time I played most of those. Oh, What a Night, December 1963, like all that stuff. I've shelved it. If I need it, or if it's on the must play list, or a parent or grandparent comes up, I might work it in. But he's mistaken, man. I don't want to play that stuff anymore either.
He's just clowning because he
he's
knows
a
I
ball
hate that
buster.
Song. I will say I have brought back We Are Family. I don't like that song, but I just started. I needed something like, because Dancing Queen became so big all of a sudden, right? So I just needed something. I know I do the Staying Alive, but just something after that, and it was always on the request list. It does big, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more random rapid questions left.
Sure.
Your most memorable night in the DJ booth.
Man, these are tough. Man, some of this stuff really goes back to college, you know what I mean? Which for me was it's like 25 years ago, maybe more. And I just remember playing a certain fraternity party. It was outside. And you have to understand, like when I came up in school, I went to Carolina. I was the closer my openers would be Dave Matthews. Then I would play after Hootie and the Blowfish, Edwin McCain, that was like, you're opening for me, bitch. You know what I mean? Like that was what was happening then. Ben Folds 5. I mean, he's from Chapel Hill. So they would play these fraternity parties. And I remember it was after a football game or something. And I just remember being grossly underpowered was my main problem with it. I didn't have enough speakers. But I was on the front porch of the frat house looking out, and it was just like a sea of people. Like you couldn't even have walked through that fraternity court. And I just remember being up on that porch with these probably giant, carpeted stacked speakers at whatever the max volume, everything in the red, and playing whatever was hot in 1993 and just crushing that party. And I'll never forget that and some of those other college memories. That was really like the start of Joe Bunn as a entity.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a feeling you just can't get over, which I think is why all of us still do it. Chasing that little minute right there, right?
That is, man. And I've said before, so I turned 50 a few months ago, And I've pinged and warned these people out that I know that work here for these big venues, the Coastal Credit Amphitheater. So that would be where Keith Urban would play, 25,000, or the smaller one right here that I can almost see out the window is probably 5,000-6,000. And I'm like, I need one more show in front of one more big crowd. Like, I can't pull that many people, but like put me on before, I don't care, Keith Urban, put me on before anybody, man, and just let me play one more set for about 30 minutes, man, and let me film it and just get that feeling one more time before I'm an old man. And every summer when the shows start coming back, I wear them out, man, and I'm gonna make that shit happen one more time, dude, because I gotta get it on tape. You know what I mean? I want it to be almost like a documentary. Or I want like, just give me the shittiest green room, give me 20, 30 minutes and just let me burn through some hits, man, and then put the band on. And I promise you, man, it will be a magical night.
So, I mean, I've seen you speak. I've heard all your podcasts and stuff. And I know one that's come up in the past is you're like a local legend right there. Everyone knows you down there. No, they were joking about it. They thought you were joking, but then all of a sudden everyone knew you. And I'm just saying, how is it possible you couldn't pull that off?
I think because it's so Live Nation, Ticketmaster-ish. You know what I mean? I think it's
usually
just gonna,
some radio station, right?
It's gonna need. I think it's gonna need to be the right show, It's just all got to fall into place, man. It's a bucket list item, but it's not that far fetched. It's gonna happen. If I have to rent the damn stadium out on a freaking Thursday, on a Wednesday night, I'm gonna do it. Make 100 of my friends come stand in the very front, and we'll just make it look like it's packed, or we just Photoshop it like it's like packed all the way to the lawn.
I think you could do it.
I need it. I just need it, man. I gotta have that as my final whatever jewel in the Thanos glove. How about that? the stone.
I totally get it. What's one piece of advice you would tell young Joe Bunn, knowing all that you know now?
Save your money. Save your money. I just spent too much money on not even necessarily dumb stuff. Cars, mainly cars, and just dumb shit, man. And just learn from other people, have a mentor, have a business coach, and save your money. You don't need 50 employees. You don't need the office at the top of the nicest building in town. Like, just run your company super lean and save your money.
Investments, or just put it in the bank or under the pillow?
I mean, if you can invest, even better. I don't know enough about crypto to get into that, but real estate, especially in somewhere like Raleigh or these cities that are growing exponentially or consistently on the U.S. top 10 list like we are in Raleigh. Real estate, man. Get a building. Like, I've been pissing away money on rent forever, in this building I'm in, and it's just, I need to be more proactive in getting a building, even if it's a piece of shit, and I change it, you know what I mean, and I make it the headquarters.
I just watched your YouTube video on the little walkthrough of where you're at right now, and it's impressive all you've done with that. That little space that you have is, I was impressed.
It's really cool, man. Hopefully you can get out here and I can show you. But it's the room I'm in now. It's more for the consults when they hopefully do come back in person. And then, in the middle over there to my right is more like the whole storage area. And then you walk through that and you're in basically an all white room where I stream and shoot all my, educational videos against a white wall, and then a little gallery wall. So there's a great little tour I put on YouTube recently.
Yeah. I just watched that last night. And your rent's still probably a fraction of the price of what I pay.
It is, but it's still like, even if it's only whatever 1,500 times 12, that's what, 18,000 a year. It's just wasted. Like, I should be putting that towards a building of some sort.
100% agree with that.
Totally.
Anyway.
Well, do you guys want to jump right into this Serato Top 5?
Yeah,
sure.
So,
okay. Go ahead.
Joe, we do the Serato Top 5, so we're just going to ask you to tell us the top 5 songs of your play count whenever you're ready. Hit us with
so I thought that it was, I felt like my play counts were kind of off, but once I hit sort, it seems pretty accurate. So number one, I don't know if I should be embarrassed or proud of these, is the DJ Scooter remix of Bye Bye Bye, the short edit. available on directmusicservice.com.
Okay.
I don't know, something about that one just slaps. I don't. It's almost like he changed it musically enough to where it's not so cheesy. It's almost
at a better BPM too.
That's what it is. Is that what it is? Because
the original's at 88, and I think it's at 90.
Oh, this one's 95.
95. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. Okay, it's pumped up like 7 BPM, and then it just sounds more current and groovy.
Yeah.
Shout out Scooter. Second one, don't know who made the edit, but it does say in the album, directmusicservice.com, Ocean Avenue blended with OPP.
That's
so
Scooter.
Yellow Card. Yeah. He does Scooter Part 2. Shout out Scooter. I told you. Sometimes I just show up and just play Scooter edits, and people think I'm really good. Number 3, the original version, radio edit, Icona Pop. I love it. I play that, I don't know, obviously a lot.
That's been one that we haven't got yet that I am shocked because play that all the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's high in mine as well.
Okay, good, good.
It's the first time I've heard it.
Okay, I'm not embarrassed. Whitney, I Want to Dance with Somebody is number 4, right after that. And then, even though I'm not a Beyonce fan, Crazy in Love is right there at number 5.
Yeah, that's a big one too. Yeah, those are. I think Master Monk, when we had him on, Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody was one of his top 5.
I don't feel embarrassed.
But Crazy in Love, I agree. That's another one nobody's mentioned that I feel like still hits pretty big.
And it's just I'm just playing it straight from the record, right from the horn blast. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba. Go ahead.
One of the only Beyonce songs I play.
Me too.
I'm not a bit. That's like her best song to me.
To me, not even a question. I don't even feel like it's been touched since. And I could use it with or without Jay-Z. I'll be honest. Like it just that sample. I forget where it came from. The horns are just huge. And then honorable mention would be the Party in the USA, Britney Loop, and then I go into Baby One More Time. So those are basically back to back because I always segue those together. Anyway,
love it.
Yeah. Those are good ones.
Thanks,
I have
man.
a Whitney edit I need to send you.
I was going to say one of my DJs down in Charleston made one that I need to send you as well. It starts a lot differently, and I think you'll like it. And he's no editor. I don't know how he came up with this, but
this is the one I've been playing. Is I basically cut out all the verses, so it's the hook, and then it goes into the somebody about hey, somebody about that bridge part, and then back into the key change of the hook, and that's it.
Ooh, okay.
So there's no part where it kind of dives, right? The energy,
right.
The energy. It's just.
I think his starts with like a beat, and then I think it goes into a cappella chorus. So there's not that whole like confusion of what song is this until it gets to the chorus for people that don't really know music. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll send it to you. I think you might like it.
Yeah,
it's so funny that I Want to Dance with Somebody is so big, but
that
if you play the clock strikes. People are like, "What is this?
Yeah, what's
song
happening?
we're playing?"
What's happening? God, give it a minute, honey. Jesus, people are so impatient.
They're not. Nowadays, they don't want to hear that build up. They don't got 2 minutes on the dance floor.
They really don't.
Oh,
man.
that was it. No,
golly, man.
It's just so funny how you can that change makes the song from like a banger to not a banger. Yeah, it's like if you're playing it with just the standard way it comes in, it's not going to work. But if you play the hook first, it's everything.
You're right, man. Skip right to it.
Well, we're talking about music that you're forced to play. Just want to know, I've heard you speak a couple times, and I know you're big into concerts. So one of the things that you spoke about was getting on stage with Jared Leto of 30 Seconds to Mars. Just want to hear about kind of the music that you're into and what you go to a lot of shows. Like what are you seeking out these days? Are you looking for new music? Is it still nostalgia stuff?
Man, it's funny. I'm always looking for new stuff. I love when people send me something. I love to go in the Discover section of Spotify, for example. I love that the algorithm knows that I like X, so they'll suggest X. I love my concerts, man. I have tons of tickets already bought for the coming year.
Who do you got coming up here?
I got man, again, this is all allegedly, depending on what happens with the world. I got everything. I got everything from Girl Talk at a little bitty club in Asheville to Motley Crue at Bank of America Stadium with 80,000 with Poison, Joan Jett, and Def Leppard. I got Imagine Dragons next month. I got Keith Urban. I don't like country, but I've got a soft spot for Keith Urban for some reason. I got the Foo Fighters here.
Oh, all right. That'll be a good one.
I don't know, man.
Have you seen them?
I've seen them a couple times, yeah. And they played so long that like I was exhausted. I'm like, how is Grohl still doing this? He's screaming the entire 3+ hours.
Yeah. I love it.
It was nuts. Man, I just keep all these like in my phone. So those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. I got to go see The Weeknd. I think he's releasing his date soon because he got skipped over that whole album with Blinding Lights. I mean, he didn't even get to tour on that record, so he's going to basically be touring off 2 albums. All these new pop punk guys I love, and I wanted to hate Machine Gun Kelly so bad. I wanted to hate him. This kid Mod's son is incredible. I mean, Need to Breathe from South Carolina. They can do no wrong to me. They put out 2 albums during the pandemic. This band,
are those your sons influencing you a little bit on that?
No, man, my sons are trapped out. I mean, they are Playboy Cardi, Kodak Black, and they don't cuss, which is, I feel like I've really accomplished something when they're 13 and 16. So it's like that Kodak Black, Super Gremlin. It's like, you switch like a pussy little bitch. And I hear Davis in the back going, like a PLB. He was in the car yesterday. I was like, what? He's like a PLB. I was like, dude, at least you're not, out there singing Super Gremlin at school.
I think PLB is almost cooler.
It is almost cooler. So he, but that's the only real commonality we have is my oldest. Kanye hung the stars and moon, man. He thinks, look, he made me go down to Atlanta to go see this Donda album listening party. It wasn't even a concert. Yeah. It's just Kanye walking around in the stadium playing the record that wasn't even finished. We're really going to this. He was like, we don't know when he's going to ever do anything again. We have to go. And then he did 3 other album release parties. But he had me. Oh, dude, it was magical. It was really like special. Like I think it was because I was with him and I've seen Kanye. Like my phone videos from concerts, people were like, that's not real. And I'm like, it's real. I was basically on the stage handing the guitar picks to the guys. Yes, that is where my seat was. I don't sit in the lawn. I'm not sitting in the middle. I don't want to be in some box. I want to be like, if you're not sweating on me and I can't like hand you your guitar, I'm not going to that show. People be like, you want to go see the so-and-so? And I'm like, well, where are the tickets? Oh, A24. And I'm like, no, I'll be on the A1 and you can come find me if you want to see what it's really like up there. I can't do it. I just won't do it.
Fuse has never heard the Jared Leto story. If you could do a short version of that.
Short version of 30 Seconds to Mars to me is just like godlike. Leto is so weirdly cool. The fact that we have almost the exact same birthday. The guy's literally 50. How? He never ages. He must be a vampire. Look at the guy.
Look at his new movie, Morpheus.
That's what I'm saying. Right? He is a vampire. We go to Charlotte. It was like a radio show, and it was like 5 bands before they came on. So the gates open. I run to the front. I'm like, I'm staying here all day. It was like Walk the Moon was the last band that came out before them. I remember that. And they kind of killed. And by then, it's filled in, whatever. It's starting to get late. And I look at the group around me and I said, there's not a world that exists in which I'm not getting on this fucking stage tonight. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I know for a fact they're going to pull a group up at the end. All right. They're going to pull a group up at the end. This is what they do. And when they do, I'm pointing to this big redneck guy. I bought him a beer. So like a beer's $25. So now he's like indebted to me.
Yeah.
You're putting me up there. Like, I'm not that big, man. Like, I know, like, this guy's a monster. I'm like, just give me your hand and launch me up there. And it gets to, like, the midpoint of the show, and he goes, I'm looking for the craziest fan in the audience. And this dude, without being prompted, because I'm waiting for the end of the show, for Kings and Queens. That's when they always put. He's like, this guy right here. And he literally takes me like a sack of potatoes and basically launches me on the stage. There's video of this. I'll text you the video if you. He launches me. He's bouncing me like a baby, like, well, yeah, like presenting me as an offering. And Leto's like kind of trying to like act like he doesn't see me, like look into the crowd of 25,000, but he just sees this grown man getting pumped up and down like a rag doll. Yes. And so he basically launches me up there, and somehow at the same time he picks 2 little kids, like a brother and a sister. So I'm up there with 2 little kids, And I'm like, what's happening? There's no crowd. Like, it's just us. And finally I'm like, oh fuck, I realized I need to take out my phone. And like, I look at his brother and he's just kind of playing this like beat. And like Leto's basically like inciting like the split the crowd, and I'm just holding my phone like I'm on stage, like I'm looking at Shannon Leto, and I'm like, thumbs up, and he's like, yeah, you made it up here. I mean, it was the most like surreal, dreamlike sequence. Like when I watched the video back, I'm like, this can't be real. And he asked me my name. He's like, what's your name, brother? I'm like, Joe. Where you from? Raleigh, North Carolina. Like 20,000 people. I mean, I was like, and I was like, fuck, what's happening right now, dude? I'm on this, like, I'm not even in the group shot. I'm in the damn little kid part of the show. How? It was so nuts, man. I love that memory, that story, that video, like, are so, like, dear to me, man. It was one of the most, like, memorable nights of my life. I love that story.
Some of these pop punk bands that you're naming, do you go to any of those shows? I mean, they're not quite on arena. They're probably a little too small, right?
No, they're not. They're more like like the Ritz, which would hold like 2,000, but they haven't really come through. That kid Mod's son who dates Avril Lavigne, he came through Charlotte, but I think I was out of town. I hadn't seen Machine Gun Kelly. I hated him as a rapper. I think that his rock record is great though, man. He and Travis Barker kind of single-handedly somehow revived the entire movement, quite frankly.
I had tickets to the show here in Cincinnati, but I bought 4 when they announced it. It was the first show announced after everything was shut down. But I sold all 4 tickets and made so much money off of it that I was like,
right, yeah, you didn't feel bad not going. Yeah, I get it.
I gotta say, I really like his music, but I think I said this on a prior episode. I really like that album. I just hate everything that it's like. That people are and maybe it's just a personal thing and I need to get over it, but I hate that everybody's like, we're rock and roll now and we're going to go to the show and wear leather pants because I like MGK, and I hate that.
Yeah, no, it's
like, no, you can go to a rock show without being rock and roll. Like you can just be yourself and like the music.
Yeah, no. And plus we did this already. We've already lived through this chapter of music, quite frankly, but it's back.
I think it's cool though. I like
it is cool.
I like what they're doing. I think it's cool.
I want to just segue a little bit here. I think you watching or just your ear to the pulse of what's kind of happening with music and current artists and all that kind of stuff. You're always coming up with these crazy commercial ideas. Just wanted to kind of talk about it. Fuse was just talking today about that you chopped the roof off of that car for the Otis. And I'm just curious how you come up with some of these ideas and what spawns this.
Yeah, I thought about this a little bit in Chicago. There was one of the DJ conferences last year called Marquee. And I remember going and I was just going through some weird things. I was like, man, what am I going to talk about? And I just was like, man, I never really talk about where these ideas come from. And so the whole seminar was about, I don't know, 2/3 of the seminar was about inspiration and where I get some of these ideas. And, and that's what it is. It's inspired. It's inspiration. Like even from back when we used to do the wedding shows, like I would see, I would be in the mall and see a store window that had these really cool long extension cords with exposed bulbs on them. Like as a window display. And I'd be like, oh man, we should do that. Put up a canopy and put those behind us at a wedding show. So more people are like, yo, what's going on over here? Or I was like, I feel like I can get a car on Craigslist that runs for $1,000. Let's chop the top off and put a DJ booth in the back, because I saw that Otis video where they did it to the Maybach with Kanye and Jay-Z. I did that Decades video for my birthday, and it was all just like, I've lived through 5 decades of music. Like, let's take something from the 70s, 80s, 90s, So I'm always inspired by other things, and I'm always just eyes open, awareness of pop culture, of videos that I loved as a kid, movies that I loved as a kid. And it's just kind of one of those things where you always have your phone in your pocket. So just have a notes tab or a Trello or whatever you keep notes on, and just keep notes or take pictures, you know what I mean? Even better, take pictures and move them into your notes thing. Like I've always got a running list of video ideas or photograph ideas. And I think that's what you have to do if you're kind of the sole marketer of your company, or companies plural.
Do you find, I feel like you're always posting about your sons and it seems like you guys have a really good relationship. Do you find that they've helped you stay relevant in ways?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I feel if anything, they've helped me stay pseudo youthful. You know what I mean? They are definitely, especially my oldest. He's an artist, man. I mean, he's not an athlete. Never was. I took him to everything you could take a kid to: basketball, football, karate, this, that, and the other. My youngest is the athlete. He's not as creative. He listens to what everybody else is listening to. Colin, my oldest, he makes his own clothes. He's always at the thrift shop. He's just he'll come home and be like, "Oh, I got this new band, this kid from Sweden, like, check this out." And I'm like, "I don't know, man. This ain't it for me." But like, I'm happy that you discovered it, and it's not what everybody else is listening to. Again, our common interests are our common, ground always seems to come back to Kanye and what he's doing. Whether it's with clothes, fashion, or whether it's with music, we always seem to like that's our boy together. But they definitely keep me youthful and yes, I spent the whole weekend with Davis, my youngest, and his friends. I'm like, so we went and rode go-karts on Saturday, and then yesterday we went to the Drive Shack or the the Top Golf type place, and they just make fun of me because I'm terrible at both go-karts and golf. But I mean, I'm just, if nothing else, I got to hang out with them and hear their lingo, and like I'll bring up all my old lingo. I'm like, every time I grab the driver, let the big dog hunt. And they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "I don't know. I feel like I heard it somewhere one time on a golf show." And then, shank the ball into the woods. And I'm like, "I chili dipped it." And they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, I feel like I've heard some golfer say he chili dipped it. And it's good times,
He'll be
man.
stealing those soon enough. My daughter
Yeah, exactly.
My daughter steals all my one-liners. She makes fun of me the whole time, and then the next thing, her friends come over and they're all saying my one-liners. I'm like, oh, all of a sudden.
Yeah, wait a minute. Where'd y'all get that?
No, that's cool. Oh, I was just gonna. You've been gigging a lot this month.
Not this month.
Slow
yeah,
time.
these I had about to be fair, about 3 corporate things really big lined up, and I do not think they're going to happen. I think one bailed yesterday, one bailed today, and we'll see if this third one bails. They were all corporate. The weddings seem to be holding steady. February is the same, not very busy, even traditionally, not even in the world of bullshit that we live in now. But the MEX show, the mobile experience, mobile, whatever they're calling it now, photo booth and DJ show is in Las Vegas, and that'll be in February. I'll be there doing a presentation with the Crate Hackers guys, and then
we'll be there.
Y'all are going to be there. Fantastic. And then I'll be back a few days, and then I'm going to Mexico to a digital marketing conference with the godfather of it all, this guy Russell Brunson that we follow, and he's kind of the funnel god. So I got some things coming up, and then I got plenty of shows, for this year. I'm probably, I don't run like a lot of these guys, man. I do about 40, 45 shows in a year. I don't do the 120 show Janai Mike Walter deal. I keep mine more lean, play about once a week, try and do my absolute best, get really good clients that seem to love me, and just keep it moving, man. I got too many other things to do, I guess.
No, I think it's great. I also noticed that it seems like you've got the setup pretty streamlined now too, but it looks awesome. And I think that's one thing I like about all your stuff is when I see pictures, it's all like really streamlined but really clean. I mean, also you've got the Joe Bunn booth.
Yes, you do. I couldn't have ever predicted that I would have a product, that has my name on it, which, there's sometimes good and bad with having your name on a product. But I mean, that just started as a dream, an idea, a goal of like, let's stop setting up on top of this plastic table with a dirty ass linen on it, and let's look better. And the original company was called Vision. It was me and one of my DJs, and we were making them out of fiberglass, and it took 2 months to get one. And now, here we are on the, starting on batch number 4, which is, for another 100. So we've made 400 now. And they're all over the world. We sent 2 to Israel. We sent some to Japan, to a U.S. soldier over there. There's, Canadians have them. They're all over the United States. And I love mine. And, man, it's one of those things where I'm so proud because every weekend I get tagged in all these posts and people are showing me their setups. And all the content on the Instagram, which is Bunn Gear, BUNNGEAR, is all UGC, user generated content. It's all sent in by DJs that own the booth, and it's very rare to see somebody like that hype about a product that they buy.
Well, two of my favorite parts of the booth is one, the rack in the column. I think that's the biggest advantage over all of the other anything that's similar is that rack, and also that it comes in bags. Just the portability. Everyone wants these hard cases, and you're trying to get the venues are closing in on setup times more and more. It's like you got to get in and out in an hour, which is almost impossible. So bring some crazy heavy road cases just seems out of control.
Man. I've never been a road case guy. I can see the advantages for certain venues, but around here, man, I'm in barns. I'm in, downtown places that may or may not have an elevator working. Like I need to be like mobile. A lot of times I'm by myself. I've had this guy Saquon with me for about 6 months. He'll come with me most Saturdays lately, and it's more to shoot content than anything else. But man, my guys roll by themselves, and a lot of mobile DJs do, and they've got a mid-sized SUV. They load up their gear and they go rock, and that's why we built it, man. It's mobile.
I did see the post you made of recently. You were at a venue. It was really cool. It looked like historic, all white. Gorgeous, and you posted that the elevator was out, so you had to haul everything out the steps. And had you not had a more streamlined setup, that could have been pretty bad. So
it could have been disastrous.
Why don't you tell us some of the what is your setup, your main setup?
So my main setup is, speakers are going to be EV. I don't want to say they're my sponsor, but they're my sponsor. I use their microphones and their speakers, but I love them. The white EV Evolve 50s just are perfect for what I normally do, which is about 150 people. These corporate events that I'm doing or was going to do this month, massive, in the thousands of people, but those are done by line array, and all that PA would be brought in by somebody else. I would just show up with my command center, my Bunn Gear piece.
Did you help influence kind of pushing the white speaker on him? Because
Jan
I did. I did. Okay.
Yeah. I would be gravely mistaken if I did not give him props for that. I'm pretty sure he rode them hard for the white speakers, paint job or whatever, because they came out in black originally. But I feel like I need to give Janai props on that. Jason Janai, if you don't know him, folks, major talent. He'll be on the show eventually.
Oh yeah, sooner than later.
All right, so hold on. So I'll finish the lineup. So Bunn Gear Command Center, bungear.com, EV Evolve 50s, usually 8 Astera AX1s, which are these LED-looking tubes that are extremely expensive, but so worth it because I've tried some other ones that didn't look nearly like that. EV RE3 microphone, Pioneer DDJ 1000, SRT, always MacBook Pro, the newest. And that's my setup.
With the stereos that you're using now, did you cut back on bringing out moving heads? Did you just cut those out of the lineup altogether?
I kind of cut them out of the lineup. Yep. I was using Chauvet Intimidator Spot 360s in white with the Novo Pro pop-up totems with a white scrim, and I just kind of leave those behind now and just take the Astera AX1s.
Because it's way easier, right? Those aren't light, but at least it's you're not carrying in those giant trusses.
Correct. No truss, no road case for the movers, blah, blah, blah. That's the only thing I have in a road case was those movers because it just makes more sense to me to move those and those. So
the show is just
I think better. It just is right. Everybody's seen movers, whether it's at a concert or a DJ, man, those tubes, unless you've, been watching music videos, people rarely see them, or car commercials like they're, and shout out to that kid. What's his name that showed us those like a few years ago at the Collective?
Jacob.
Oh, Jacob. Yeah. That was the first time I ever saw him, was in Arizona in 2019.
I think all of us wanted to buy him after that show. It was like, what are these things?
And then we all looked up the prices and we're like, never mind. And then somehow it came back around to a
But those stands that you found for him too are pretty awesome. Did you find those? Or
I did not, man. The guy reached out to me. he saw my pictures and posts, and he was a DJ out in Seattle, and he was following me, and he was like, man, your setup is killer, but those photo stands are garbage. I have built magic, and this guy does more lighting than DJing. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, I'll send you a set. I was like, oh, even better. And he sent me a set. And in fact, I just sent that set along to Janai, and he sent me a white powder coated set. So now I have a white set of these Astera stands. It's Lightsmith Seattle, if you want to find him on Instagram or whatever. They're not cheap, but neither are the AX1s. So if you're going to get a stand, I feel like he made the perfect one. Like it was something I was looking at. Like maybe we could add these to our product line. And once I saw his, I was like, nope, there's no way I could make him as good as these. And so,
and this all comes part of your main package. This is your main go-to.
Yeah,
you're not. It's not like an upsell. It's just like, hey, this is my experience. Boom.
This is what I bring out. Right. When you book Joe Bunn, I'm bringing this stuff. This is what it looks like, and I could pretty much show a picture of it.
Another question I have, and it's just because we have a lot of younger listeners. Do you ask for the floor plan ahead of time so that you can make sure that you're front and center? Because a lot of times, at least here in California, we're getting thrown in the corner.
Yeah, it's bad.
But I think that's because they're just used to ugly setups, right? So
that's probably a lot of it. Yeah, they don't want to see you in the background because they think you're going to bring trash and your cables are going to be a mess and everything. I've been lucky enough that, number one, I know most of the venues and the venues know me, so they know I want to be right up on that dance floor, and I do want to be front and center. I'm also fortunate that a lot of my shows come through a wedding planner. And the wedding planner, works with the couple so that I don't have to do as much work with the couple. And they usually send me a floor plan well in advance of the show. And if I see something weird, I'm not going to throw a fit, but I'll say, hey, Aaron, can you maybe mention to her that I should be here? And, I might circle where this would be a better spot. If they really want to party, this is going to be a more prevalent space for me to be, send them this picture, show them what my setup looks like, and then, let's go from there. And 9 times out of 10, they'll change it. They'll be like, yep, this is an important part of our wedding. He should be there, not in the corner playing over table 10 and 9. You know what I mean? That corner deal was not good.
So you mentioned you're going to be in Vegas for the Mex. Tell us a little more about speaking at conferences and stuff and how that's.
So I mean that really has been my career, or part of my career for a decade or more. Is I really became an educator 10 or so years ago. I started writing for a lot of the DJ magazines that were out, like Mobile Beat magazine. I used to write for the Disc Jockey News, which was a newspaper that came every month, and then I parlayed that into speaking at these conferences in Las Vegas and Atlantic City, and that was kind of how people originally knew me, which parlayed that into the DJ's Vault, which is this paid online membership community for DJs, mainly private event DJs. And I think I just got so tired of speaking at these conferences, and they all kind of, to be fair, frank, hate each other. So they don't want you to do the same content. So every single conference I was having to come up with a new presentation, new slides, memorize the slides, come up with new jokes, come up with new engaging things. And it was exhausting. And not to mention, you're only speaking to a few hundred people. And I was like, man, I have to take everything that's up here after all these years and put it into this vault. And that's how the vault was born, and that has 1,200 members in it. My reach is so much bigger than just speaking at a conference and hoping people pay the ticket, come to Chicago or come to Vegas and see me. And so I'll still speak at a conference. I mean, still don't get paid, but I just like to teach, and I'm going to be there regardless. So I might as well try and spread some knowledge while I'm there.
I love the vault. I was a member. I have a couple videos up on there, Dropbox video and a Serato tutorial for those people that need those. It really has done so much for a lot of people. It's been huge. I just see it as such a better resource than going to a show, because you can do it on your own time and just pace yourself, and your content's always coming out. How many videos have you done?
Man, my goal, and it started in February 2019, so we're 1 month from the 3-year anniversary, which we're going to have a streaming party that's going to be amazing. And I have not missed it yet. The very first day of every month, no matter what day that falls on, is always going to be new content. And it's usually 6 new videos and then 1 or 2 new documents. And then all throughout the month, usually every Wednesday. So for example, this Wednesday, we've got Jason, Jay, and I kind of coming on to give like the year kickoff, if you will, or Drew's been on or whatever. We have a guest on the webinar. So those are also in the vault as well. So, I mean, there are hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds, marketing, sales, training, hiring videos in the vault. And I just keep on, creating content. That's why I have my own studio now, is because I'm always shooting content. It's thedjsvault.com if you want to see what we're talking about.
And we're big tech here. You got your own camera guy that has his own shit, or have you purchased some of these cameras now just to have set up? And
no,
you're not doing that.
Everything, the umbrellas, like all the lights and the teleprompter and everything stay set up in the room. And then the videographer shows up on usually 2 to 5 days a month. And then we have a list of things we're going to do that day. So he'll be here tomorrow, I think, and we'll shoot all the TikToks for February probably, or at least the ones about the music trivia. And then we'll probably shoot a review of the Mixstream Pro by Newmark, which I've been messing around with, which has speakers built into it, and it doesn't need a laptop. Literally, I logged into my BeatSource account and just started DJing on it the other day. And that'll be it for that day. And then he'll be back, a few days later, and we'll do the vault content that drops on February 1st, and probably some commercials for crate hackers and blah, blah, blah. It's always kind of like a game plan before he gets here. The majority of it's set up. And then, even out here, there's just like interesting train tracks and just trees and whatnot. I mean, if we need to go outside and shoot, we can shoot pretty much everything around here.
I'm curious about the TikTok. It's just blown up for you. And I mean, obviously we all need to have our finger on the pulse. And I hear so many DJs just hate on, I'm not doing that. But, I think they said the same thing with Instagram forever,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, right.
And when it was MySpace, I ain't going to Facebook.
Yeah.
Screw that. And I think I've started going on it. I haven't for a while.
Yeah.
But what inspired you to start making these videos? Or how did you just come up with your niche? It's creative.
I stole it. I stole the niche, and I steal a lot of the material from Mike Walter, who I do the podcast with. My podcast is called the PhDJ Podcast. And Mike Walter, he wrote a book about 2 or 3 years ago. It was called On This Date, not On This Day, On This Date in Music. So you can buy it if you want. It's a really great book. It's like a coffee table book. And for every single day of the year, starting January 1, he writes a story about some song or an artist or something that happened on that day in music. On This Date in Music is what it's called, .com. I called up Mike one day. I don't know. It was one of those things. I woke up one morning, I was like, oh my God, I think I've got a TikTok, like a series. Because everybody says, got to find a niche, need a series. And I call him up. I'm like, Mike, I got something for you, man. Like, just pull a little paragraph from the book, or take the story you wrote, narrow it down to like 20 seconds if you can, and do a TikTok. He's like, man, I don't have time for that shit. And I go, well, if you're not going to do it, man, I'm going to do it. And I'll tell people I stole them from your book. And he was like, knock yourself out. We started September 1, and by the 7th, I had gone viral with a poorly told Eric Clapton story. I said that Eric Clapton wrote Wonderful Tonight while waiting for his girlfriend or wife to get ready, which was true. They were going to a birthday party for Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly had died about 20 years previous. What I should have said was they were going to what would have been Buddy Holly's 40th birthday celebration, or the late Buddy Holly's birthday party. And when I left that word out, every asshole on the internet that's smarter than me just went apeshit in the comments. You're an idiot. Buddy Holly was dead. Buddy Holly was dead. Buddy Holly was dead. You're an idiot. Buddy Holly was dead. You're an idiot. Like, it just went on. And I still get messages once a week. Buddy Holly was dead in 1976 when he wrote this. You're an idiot. Okay, cool. Can you look at
all publicity is good publicity.
That's what I said. I was like, I'm letting it run. I'm letting it run. And it went to it's at 1.1 million views. And for whatever reason, people still wanted to see more stories, I guess, poorly told music stories. And that, got me to 10K, then 20. And then I really started to have to work, like, to get to where I am now. And it's been a grind. I mean, I think I'm about to hit 60,000, but nothing has ever popped off quite like that. There was another one where I went ape shit about a cup where you smash the cake in the bride's face or whatever. And I was like, for the love of God, please stop doing this. It's childish. I went nuts one night in my car, and that had probably about 500,000 views, and that kind of gave me another pop. But it's just it's a random app, man. I can't ever tell you what's going to pop off. You could make something, spend all day on it, and it goes nowhere, or you could, fart in the microphone and it gets 10 million hits. I mean, it's so random.
Besides YouTube, which one do you think gets more kind of helps?
If I had to pick right now between those two, put your money and your time in TikTok. YouTube is the slowest, hardest, most painful grind I've ever been on. I work my dick off, and my videos are great on there, and I'm at maybe 6,200 followers, and that's been years of, like, every Thursday, 3 o'clock, new video. And some of them are as polished and perfect as they can be. Some are more shot from the wedding. My assistant doing it with a little handheld rig. Dude, it is the slowest, hardest, most crowded, overpopulated grind that you can possibly imagine. Nothing I've ever done on there has ever gone even pseudo viral. It is hard ass work. And TikTok has surpassed the minutes viewed on Instagram. It surpasses minutes stay on from YouTube. That all happened about a month or two ago.
But have you got some of the TikTok sponsorships, right? So, like, say those lightsmith stands came from YouTube, right? They didn't come from TikTok.
No, it came from Instagram.
Instagram. Wow.
Yeah. He would see look at this picture here behind me. He would see that, but before I was using his stands, and I would be using these like shitty, like, $9.99 Amazon stands, and he was like, "Bro, that ain't it. Like, let me send you what."
I got a question. So I know the way TikTok works is a little different. There's a threshold for YouTube. It's like you got to have 400 hours viewed, 1,000 subscribers before you start seeing any money. Is there? Does TikTok have a threshold?
It is. I can't remember the threshold, but neither one of those, unless you are truly huge, are you going to make any money at. So just get your brain away from that. Like, I think I just got my first TikTok check, and it was $35. Now, if you're trying to make money on the internet and you're a DJ, I will tell you right now, Twitch, you can make money. I know guys paying their DJ Fly pays his mortgage off TikTok. Off Twitch. He streams every day. He's consistent. He's excellent. He's a hip hop master. He has an audience. He knows that boom bap, New York, Wu-Tang, like, he knows it better than people from Shaolin. Like, the dude is absolute wizard. Even the other night, we blew up the other night. We had that stream before Christmas on the 23rd. We had myself, one of my DJs, Aaron was here, Demand was on. We brought in Scratch Bassett from Canada, Ragoza with his wife, absolutely shredded it. We made $7,500. We made $7,500. Now, we didn't know, but I'm not a partner, and Twitch took half my money. So I was like, oh Jesus, we blew up, y'all. And then I get the check, and it was $3,700. I'm like, what just happened? I didn't know they took half your subs on Twitch if you're not like an affiliate or a partner. And I was like, they just absolutely blasted us. But like, I've never seen anything like that night, and we had not streamed in months. And all of a sudden, we jumped on that night, and we hit that algorithm, and people started bits, subs, and it became crazy. You want to make money on the internet? Twitch is the move. Do not try and monetize TikTok and YouTube unless you're like Mr. Beast and do something absolutely insane. He's killing it.
No, I think that's all cool to like hear your thoughts on it all, because you're somebody who is, I feel like, so good about doing everything, doing the most. You're a worker, and I know. So I think sometimes people, they might see you doing this and this and this, and they're gonna be like, well, Joe's making money here and here and here and here, and sometimes it's just not the reality of things.
No, it's not, man. I'll be honest with you. Affiliate stuff is is a great source. Just a quick FYI, you know, if you have the ability to sell something you believe in, speakers, photo booths, up lights from China, like I make really good money at being an affiliate for some of these people and their gear that I use. So, you know, think about it more that way, and definitely don't worry about the metrics and the vanity and how many followers you have. That ain't it, man. There's other ways to make money. You don't have to have 1 million followers to do it, because I don't think I have 10,000 on Instagram, maybe 6,000 on YouTube. TikTok blew up because of a mistake. I mean, like I'm grinding, like just like everybody else, trying to figure out what's going to work.
Well, we know you got to run. And we just want to say thank you for, you know, coming on the show. We really appreciate you taking the time to be with us here today. Do you want to give your socials out so if guys know where to find you or whatever else?
Sure. I think Joe Bunn is my favorite Instagram account. That's where you're really going to see the true me, my shows, my kids, what I like to do. So it's JoeBunn. Bunn Gear is the command center, the DJ booth that I make, BUNNGEAR. Those are probably my two favorite, man. So definitely check those out and DM me. I always respond to my messages. I love to talk to you guys.
We've been talking about Instagram, or we've been talking about YouTube and TikTok. At least shout those out.
Oh, TikTok is DJ Joe Bunn. That's right. And YouTube, just find the DJ Joe Bunn channel on YouTube, and it'll pop up, and you'll see. Like I said, every Thursday, brand new video drops on YouTube. Everything from gear to business tips to the gig logs from whatever I did the previous weekend. So a lot of content out there, man. Embrace it.
I
Awesome.
watch them every week.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I love the TikToks. I always catch them and I always watch them. So I think it's interesting, and I think the way you're doing it's great.
I'm gonna keep doing it, man. It is a grind, but I think I get a lot of compliments, man, and people seem to really like them. People love the music trivia stuff, and, you know, I keep tweaking it, trying to make them shorter, faster, more succinct, and I don't know, man. I'm just going to keep doing it for a while. I set a goal to do it for 6 months, and so here we are hitting the 4th month, and we'll see where it goes. You know, has it led to a show yet? No, I don't think so, but I know guys, Wired Up, Joe Zahn, I think he's Mr. Wired Up on TikTok, has gotten shows from it and speaking engagements about TikTok. Another guy named Eric Rhodes out of Idaho, he does little mashups, and he's killing it. He's gotten shows from it, so there's business to be had from there, man. It's a marketing tool like everything else, man. Just, you know, if you're overwhelmed, I'll just say what I always tell people when I give a marketing seminar: pick one and try and kick it in the ass. You know what I mean? If you're going to do Instagram, be good at it. If you're going to do TikTok, be consistent and be good at it, and just stick to that. And when you feel like you've pseudo conquered it or start making some headway, and then maybe open up the door to another one. You know, you can't do it all unless you're
I think that's good advice.
That's great advice, dude. Hell yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today, and thank you, Joe, for being here with us. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you guys next time.